Let's talk about
What do you want to talk about?
Matt Hasselbeck.
Okay.
And the big story, and we've kind of buried the lead, rib injuries yesterday and what I thought was a cheap shot in that game. Legal, yes.
Yes.
Cheap, absolutely.
No doubt. There is a mutual respect out there. There is an unknown rule. A quarterback is running out of bounds. He is literally sideways running out of bounds. There's no point in pushing him. He's already going where you want him to go. There's no need to get him there any faster than he's already going to get there.
Right.
And obviously the quarterback's going to relax a little bit. So when you push him, he's going to go forward, and you got to protect. He try to protect himself, and it just looked like he kind of landed on that side.
You could tell he was upset.
I was upset. I thought there should have been a flag. There should be like a yard, give or take, toward the sidelines, where if you know a quarterback's definitely giving himself up,
right,
there's no need to hit him like that.
And the officials certainly could have looked at it that way, and I think warranted a flag.
Well,
but for some reason they kept it in the pocket. So
certain quarterbacks in this league would have got that flag yesterday. And you know what I'm talking about.
Which reminds me of the Ed Hockley line when he said to Cam Newton, "Hey, you're not old enough to get that call." Wait a minute, Matt Hasselbeck is old enough to get that call.
Well, I think Cam Newton would have got that call yesterday. I think Peyton and Brady and Big Ben, all them guys would have gotten that call yesterday, and Matt should have gotten that call. I saw him running for the sidelines. You could see it kind of going to happen.
Right.
And
it's not like he's going to have a spin move at the.
He wasn't trying to get another yard. Matt actually turned right to go out of bounds, and Telvin Smith came up and just whacked him.
We don't know the extent of the rib injuries. He didn't talk to the media afterwards.
A little bit of this.
Boom! Slammed the helmet down. I don't blame him.
Busted it. He tried to put it back on, and he was like,
he looked at it.
This ain't right.
Luckily, he didn't need it. Although the Colts fans would have liked to see him back out there. We don't know the extent of the injury.
Right.
The fact he didn't return says something. There's a chance Charlie Whitehurst might be starting on Sunday. Is that possible?
And it is possible, and I like the way Charlie played at the end of the Pittsburgh game. I didn't like the way he finished the game against Jacksonville. I mean, it was 2 of 8 passing. Seemed like he missed a couple throws.
He threw into triple coverage at one point and picked off. So,
but back to Matt, he did not look as sharp as he needed to look yesterday. He was, I thought, trying to get rid of the ball too soon. There was a couple big throws down the field where we would have had guys wide open without any pressure, and he let it go too soon, overthrew Kobe Fleener on one. There was one play where they brought pressure. I don't know if you guys saw it, and he kind of went into the fetal position a little bit, thinking he was going to get hit, and nobody was really around him to get hit, so you can kind of tell the footsteps were starting to get to him a little bit. But he missed a couple throws that he should make. One to Andre on the first drive on the out route that he threw at his feet, a slant to Dante. He bounced in there, so you could tell he just wasn't right yesterday, and obviously getting banged around a little bit has something to do with it.
I would agree with that. Take a look at the Monday afternoon quarterback numbers for Hasselbeck yesterday. 18 of 35, 252 yards. He took 3 sacks. He was hit technically 3 times. That's what the stats say. 9 pass deflections, but I think he was under pressure way more than that. Whitehurst came in 2 of 8, 8 yards and a pick. So Matt, after going 4-0, now 0-2 in the last 2 starts on the road, we don't know when luck's coming back. I don't think it's going to be this week.
Well, you kind of hope it is, and we'll probably know more after a few days of practice till we see how much he's practicing, and things like that. This is a big game.
This is a big quandary for the team, is it not?
This is a big game, but I mean, the first Houston game was a big game.
Right.
Not as big as this one, obviously, and they decided to sit him that game too, but I think there was more to that. But,
sure.
Sure would like to see him back out there.
Would his presence out there, how big of a difference would that make?
Yeah, I think it makes a huge difference. I think you feel much more confident going in the game with Andrew Luck instead of Charlie Whitehurst.
I'll give you that, sure.
And I know Andrew might be a little rusty coming back in this game because the speed of practice and the speed of the game are 2 different things, and he's missed quite a bit of time. So early he might be a little rusty, but I think eventually. But then you take the Andrew Luck who's going to run around and get first downs and take some hits to get first downs and things like that. And do you really want to see him out there taking those kind of hits? But if he's not 100% healthy, I would say probably don't play him. But this is one of those games where if he can't get hurt any worse and he's feeling good enough to play, I think you got